Mathis, and this is number 5 in a series of 4 Master Gardener stories. And we're so happy that you could watch this number 5 because this probably is our best Master Gardener series, the best story in the series. I just was working a little bit on my garden, and I have, because of the Master Gardener series, I have learned a great deal about how to, plant various varieties of weeds that are native to the Midwest, and I'm still working on it, although I have several varieties right here, but I'm not quite sure. Michael Lorenz and Kathy Linda gave me some ideas on how to reduce the weeds, and I've tried it, and I can see, you can see that it's working really, really well. But in this series of stories, we're on a completely different subject, and there are some people who have observed Kathy and Micah, and they have watched the Master Gardeners, and they have some helpful hints, too, that perhaps Kathy and Micah left out of their stories. And to give us a little bit of that is Mark Linda and Mike Mov, our 2 husbands of the Master Gardeners. And Mark, do you have some helpful hints?
Yes. Today we're going to be taking you through a series of situations that illustrate some of the difficulties and complexities of being husbands of Master Gardeners.
Well, you know that, Mark, what we found, first of all, is never ever go to the bar during the awards ceremony at the Master Gardeners banquet because you miss your wives getting their awards, and then you never hear about the end of that.
That's a very good point, Mike. And to be drunk and accept an award, that probably wouldn't work either.
Well, we try to overlook how they work, but, they're usually drunk when they're working in their gardens, actually.
Well, dandelion wine, I hear, is a big thing over there.
And I think it's also important, Liz, if you're just strolling around the yard with your Master Gardener wife, it's important to never make a comment such as, "Dear, do you think we have too much lawn back here?"
Oh, yeah. Or, but why would you want that? We don't have a rose garden. And they'd say, we don't have a rose garden now, but tomorrow we're putting one in. So.
Right.
What about asphalting? Did you say something about asphalting is...
Well, go ahead.
No.
You take it. I mean, you've got the lawn.
Mike and I feel that asphalt can be the solution to every gardening problem.
Yeah. And, I mean, if you're trying to get rid of Creeping Charlie, it works great. Although, since we're both Vietnam vets, we're really partial to napalm. But, I mean, it's harder to get the permits for that, don't you think?
That's true.
That's true.
Well, but we could talk about being husbands of Master Gardeners all day long. Why don't we show a few of the situations that we're going to be encountering?
That's good, Mark.
Series.
That'd be good. I think so.
Roll tape.
We're here to show you the necessary things to know for putting your garden in place. These are that we learned as been Master. So if you want to come to visit Mark, he's going to prepare the tulip plantings. And Mark, there's still gardening preparation gear. And you want to tell us about what you're going to do, Mark?
Sure, Mike. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I've found that the best way to prepare a site for gardening is to thoroughly hose it down with a systemic herbicide slash pesticide slash rodenticide fungicide. This removes any chance for any possibility of a living thing to survive. It's perfectly harmless as long as you prepare yourself prior to hosing down the garden area.
Okay, thanks, Mark. And, cut. You know, Mark, one of the secrets to effective gardening is knowing when is the time to plant, when is the time to hoe, and when it's the time to stop for refreshments. And that's why I like being involved in gardening, because there's always time for refreshments.
That's exactly right, Mike. And in the last episode, we were talking about hosing down the garden spot, but it's
time to get hosed down now.
Often it is. That's exactly right.
That's right. That's right.
We like to relax when we're about to begin our garden planting.
True.
And of course, an occasional refreshment is helpful in that respect.
Yeah. Now, do you want to do the terraced lotus blossom pond first this afternoon, or should we just go straight for more beer?
Beer, I think.
Beer, good choice, good choice. All right.
And we always make good choices, Mike, because
we're husbands of master gardeners. Back again, folks, and today's episode is on proper irrigation of your garden, because without proper irrigation, your garden won't grow, okay? And now Mark, he's out here, he's showing us how he's going to irrigate the garden. Mark, are you ready?
Sure, Mike.
Okay.
Come on
Come on over, come on over. Now what seems to be the problem with this plant, Mark?
Well, there's actually no problem with this plant. If you take a closer look at it, can you zoom on in with us here? I wanted to give a couple of hints for why, to explain why this plant is as healthy as it is.
Now, isn't this a peony?
Yes, this is one of our deadly nightshade peony varieties that I particularly enjoy. And if you come on over here, I can show you why it does so well. No, just
this is
yeah,
pretty dry.
pretty dry.
It's pretty dry. See, look at that soil. Just what you can see what the pH is in that soil right there. It's pretty poor.
But one of the reasons this plant's doing so well in this negative soil is because all through the winter months, and this takes extensive planning, in the evenings.
This was after our hosing episode, wasn't it?
In the evenings, you know, after you're watching television, just before you go to bed, you feel that desire to
irrigate.
Yeah.
Irrigate.
Yeah. Why not just step out the back door, make your way to your favorite bush, and urinate in the spot where that perennial plant's going to be coming back up in the spring. It's one of those little secret hints that husbands of master gardeners
have picked up. And, I mean, it's okay for us, but it's really embarrassing to see Kathy and Micah out here in the wintertime urinating where their favorite plants are. It just is not a pretty sight, and not as fast and effective as we can do.
True, but it's humorous.
It's humorous, but that's why we are husbands of master gardeners.
Hi, welcome to the next episode of Husbands of Master Gardeners. You know, in the first Master Gardening episode, my wife Kathy discussed mulch and its role in gardening. And we'd like to have Mike today talk about how he utilizes mulch in his gardening activities. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, Mark. Well, I took Kathy's advice to heart, and I've always used plenty of mulch on my garden beds. Now, as you can see here, I built up basically a 2 to 4 foot level of mulch over most of this garden plot. Now, in this section over here, I have different types of tulips. Watch out, you're stepping. That's the daylilies over there. All right, and then over here, I mixed in some Jacob's ladder and some Jack in the pulpits, which will come up here to sort of center the entire spread. Now over here, I'm planning on, I have some perennials coming up, along with some Pachysandra and some, it's not, what is that cover? Jacoby?
Crabgrass?
Well, no, not the crabgrass, but the ajuga. Yeah, and that'll sort of flush out here and hide some of this stuff left over from, well, actually, Micah has been busy with her composting, but it hasn't had all the success we wanted, although she sort of moved directly from dirt and right into creating stone, and I'm not sure how she's done that, but I think it's been very effective. And now this is forming the crux of my rock garden here, because I said, why go through all the trouble of building in those big rocks when you can bring in lots of little rocks? Uh-oh, here's Micah. So anyway.
Okay, shut it off.
Shut it off.
we hope you've enjoyed these few episodes of Husbands of Master Gardeners. I know we did.
Yeah, I'd say it was a pretty successful episode today. A lot of work done in our garden.
Yes, there was.
Yes.
A good deal of work, and if this catches on, who knows? We may be shooting a few more episodes.
All right, and before we break, you know, we do want to give thanks to our to Liz Mathis with KWWL for again hosting the opening segment of today's show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Tom, we should leave them with a few parting words.
All right. One, remember, we know more than we do about gardening because we are husbands of master gardeners.
This is episode